it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peeps that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Hey everybody, happy Friday and welcome to The Day with Trae. I am your guest host, Deuante. Now before we begin with this amazing episode, I need you to like, share, and subscribe to Converge Media where you can learn more, not just about The Day with Trae, but back to basic. We live in color and more. Head to whereweconverge.com to know why Black media matters. I am so excited about this Feel Good Friday. It just doesn't feel good because it's Friday. It feels good because I get to share this opportunity with community to be about action. Like this week, we've been talking about activation. And I'm happy because I get to share in a conversation with a call to action with Katie Hall Foundation. And Katie Hall Foundation means a lot to me because I did not know my voice at a point in time. And the foundation, along with who I'll be speaking with today, really helped me get the passport to my future by teaching me how to pivot, trusting my voice, but above all else, answering the call. We are going to answer a call to action and speak to Katie Hall right here on The Day with Trae. We will be right back to speak with her.
Here on Back to Basic, it's always been important to me that we uplift stories from across the region and that no matter where you live in the nation, you never have to miss a moment of the show as we continue to highlight the beauty, excellence, and resilience of our communities across the Pacific Northwest. Why? Because representation matters. So no matter where you live, be it the Central District or Centralia, Portland or Pullman, or anywhere across the country, I encourage you to join me on this Back to Basic journey by downloading the free Fox Local app on your phone or smart TV as we continue to elevate the very best in our communities.
Seattle Opera presents the world premiere of Jubilee. Jubilee follows the historic Fisk Jubilee Singers' initial tours following the Civil War. While raising funds for the fledgling Fisk University, the group shared their music around the world, showcasing more than 40 African-American spirituals such as Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, Deep River, and Wade in the Water. Jubilee is not to be missed. October 12th through 26th at McCaw Hall. Details at seattleopera.org.
Big Tobacco thinks they know everything. They think they know you, your community, the places you go, the way that you spend your time. They think they got you all figured out, down to a formula, a calculation based off of numbers of what they think they know. Show them they're wrong. Learn more at theythinktheyknowyou.org.
In your 40s, your body break down.
The comedy of Leslie Jones.
You trying to have sex after 46? Put my leg down! Put my leg down!
The hilarious Leslie Jones.
I got osteoporosis.
Don't miss Leslie Jones.
Thank you so much.
And welcome back to The Day with Trae. On this Feel Good Friday, I am so happy to be sitting with the amazing Katie Hall.
Oh, Deuante, I'm so happy to be sitting with you.
Yes, and I'm so excited because, well, one, we have a history, but what you have been able to create with the legacy with the Katie Hall Foundation in community has meant a lot to young girls, but above all else, Black community members that are here. So for folks that aren't familiar with Katie Hall Foundation, can you let them know?
Yeah, absolutely. So Katie Hall Foundation, as a matter of fact, Deuante, we're hitting 10 years.
Oh my
Yes, this year, the end of the year really. So 2025 is our 10-year anniversary. We're really excited. I mean, we really do focus in on the advocacy and education of women and girls. In about 5 years, our Girls on the Rise program, which is our signature program, has, activated over 1,000 girls in Seattle as well as Nigeria. So I'm excited about that. And more important than that, as you know, personally, sickle cell anemia is our health area. It's our area that we advocate for and that we like to educate for. And so that's why we're having this conversation today. And I'm so excited to be able to talk about it with our community in particular because sickle cell impacts us.
Yeah, and how does it impact us? Because I don't think that, a lot of us know that it exists, but I don't think that a lot of us aren't looking at the tools on how we could be able to advocate for.
Absolutely. You know, and it's very real. And so, like, I just want to say this too. Like, my husband's my high school sweetheart. I always knew that he had the S trait, never knew about the other side of it, the C trait, right? They didn't start testing for that until well in the 2000s. So I always knew he had that. We got married. We waited probably about 9 years before we had kids. And when I knew that sickle cell anemia was going to be real to my household, is when my first baby was born with it. And just about 100,000 people live in the United States that has sickle cell anemia. And if you notice, I use the word sickle cell anemia versus sickle cell disease.
Yes.
And my daughter is the one that actually really got me to change my language. Because she was like, I'm not no disease, mommy. What are you talking about? It's a condition.
Yes.
And because of that, I try to make sure I honor that, not just for her, but for anyone else living with sickle cell. But even more important than that, Deuante, I think the reason why it matters to have this conversation with you today with Black media is because about 90% of individuals impacted with sickle cell are Black, African American. And I happen to have a daughter that has SC sickle cell.
Yeah.
And so what it means to us is that, you know, there could be you and I, let's say that we didn't know where to start dating, we had a child, and then we could produce, there's a 1 in 4 chance, for example, that me and David can produce a baby like KJ, you know, with SC. Now, as you know, we have another baby, Chase.
My Taurus.
Yeah, your little Taurus sister. And so Chase does not have sickle cell. Chase doesn't have the trait like David, the S trait like David. She doesn't have the C like me or the SC like KJ. So it's truly a 1 in 4 chance every time we have a child on whether they have it or not. But what is it? It's crescent blood cells, really. Yeah. And crescent blood cells can get hard and sticky, which can cause pain crises and very severe pain crises.
Yeah. And I'm so grateful for your family because, like, the Katie Hall Foundation is not just you, right?
No.
It is you creating a legacy for your children. Yes. And of course, David, who's an amazing brother who is always wanting to continue this conversation of what sickle cell looks like in our community. And I feel like back in the 90s, it was a conversation where folks were getting activated. And I feel like you both have been able to continue on with that legacy of conversation. But what more do we need to do, Katie, to make sure that we're creating the space? Last year, you put on an amazing blood drive. It was so great. We had folks in there. What do we need to do this year? What does that look like for us?
Yeah, you know, it's wow. Well, one thing for sure is, like, what can we do today? Like, truly, this is a time where we need Black and brown blood. It's really that simple.
Why is that important?
Well, a person living with 90% of individuals living with sickle cell are Black, right? The other 3 to 9% are brown, right? They're Hispanic. And so if a Black person gives blood, the likelihood of that blood being a match to a person living with sickle cell is absolutely essential. Now, and so keep in mind, I'm speaking broadly, okay, because there's different types of sickle cell too. We don't probably have the time to dig into all of that, but I would really encourage people, anyone that's Black, anyone that's brown, and even if you're not Black or brown, you never know who your kids or your grandkids may end up mating with. It's very important for you to understand that there's different types of sickle cell. I never knew I had the C trait until I had KJ. So I was almost 33 years old when I found out that I had the C trait, right? And so why is that important to us? Well, you know, it's very important for us to be able to get blood. I mean, a person living with sickle cell could have to have 1 blood transfusion to 2 blood transfusions a month, right? That's a lot when you really think about it. Thankfully, you know, KJ hasn't had that. Another thing you brought up is what else can we do to activate? It's education and honestly giving funds to organizations like Katie Hall Foundation or the Sickle Cell Task Force. We both advocate and we both bring education to it. Why is funding important? Well, there's so much that you can do to be able to be preventative as well. You know, my daughter just recently here had it wasn't a crisis, but she's in Taekwondo. She kicked the board, broke it, got her belt, but then she ended up with a lot of trauma in her leg. We end up in the hospital. So what did that mean to us? It means now we have to learn KJ, the athlete living with sickle cell, right? Because it's different. So even you being athletic and doing the things that you need to do to stay healthy, you can still end up in a situation when you're in the hospital. Thankfully, KJ has had no blood transfusions, and just recently here, her doctors was like, her hemoglobin is normal. How did we make that happen? Honestly, it took a lot of work. It's herbs, it's knowing KJ, it's knowing her triggers, it's being able to be preventative with food. So it's so much that we can do, but I think in the immediate, you know, our blood drive, we will take anyone's blood and everybody's blood. We got 45 slots open. Please sign up. If you're Black, white, if you're Asian, sign up and give blood, period.
And another thing that I was reading about a little bit too was like our Latinx community members are also impacted too.
They are. And that's the reason why we really do need individuals to sign up to give blood, because if 90% are Black, about 3 to 9% are, like you said, Hispanic, we need individuals to give blood. Because even if you go give blood, you may not be able to actually give blood, right? But it's the fact of going in there and trying. So we really do need people to activate.
Yeah, and people, it seems like there's a lot that's going on. I think of September, it's Virgo season.
Yeah.
But besides that, September is really important because for the past couple of years, Convergence also documented a lot of this stuff that's going on. And these next 2 weeks, you have a lot going on. So what's happening tomorrow, and then what's happening on the 11th?
Yeah, so on a Saturday, we're just going to partner up with the Sickle Cell Task Force. There's some of our buddies in the Sickle Cell game. They have a Sickle Cell Walk, and you can go to their website, Sickle Cell Task Force, and learn more about that. Sickle Cell Walk is an amazing way to connect with community. Also learn about donors, being a blood donor. Also, not just being a blood donor, but also just donating. Because individuals with sickle cell, there's cures out there now. There's always been different types of cures, but CRISPR in particular. So I think that people should tap in and see how they can help. In addition to that, our blood drive is September 11th at Treehouse for Kids from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We do not need you there from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You actually need to sign up in advance. And so that way you sign up for your own personal slot. You get between 30 to 45 minutes. You go through the entire system of being registered. You give blood, and then we have you stay for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Make sure you have some food in your system so you're okay to leave out. So it's so important that we get people to sign up for that in particular, Black people, Latinx people, Hispanic people. We need people to sign up of color, because even if you go, you may not be able to give blood, but at least you will know.
Yeah, at least you will know, and we're one step closer to creating a solution for someone else who needs it.
Absolutely.
And I really hope, before we go and get out of here, I do want you to do me a favor, look in that screen and let people know what we need to do to get activated.
Absolutely. Oh, Deuante, I love interviewing with you, but truly, Seattle community in particular, this is a personal one for me. I work behind the scenes and in front of the scenes with a lot of projects. And this is a personal one that I'm asking for your help to come out. Now, I'm from Detroit. I'm always repping the D, but KJ's one of yours. She's born and raised in Seattle, and she's a Seattleite. So when you think about individuals like KJ, she's 9 years old, she's an athlete, and others who may not be able to be as athletic that have sickle cell, we need blood, and we need your blood in particular. So I'm asking the community, call to action, to come out and support us in this blood drive. I know there's a lot of stigmas around Black folks giving blood. If you have stigmas around it, come to our 1 hour virtual online conversation about sickle cell and learn a little bit more about that too. But if you don't give blood, who will?
If you don't give blood, who will? I love that. And before we get out of here, I do want to just say to you, I appreciate you. I appreciate you in the work that Katie Hall Foundation has done. But even I want to make sure that we're going to make sure we post that flyer up there so people can see. And can you give us those dates one more time?
Absolutely. So the blood drive is September the 11th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come out to the Treehouse for Kids building. You have to register in advance. And from there, 30 minutes of your time, 45 minutes at the most. And then we also have a virtual panel that day. Visit our website, please, katiehallfoundation.org, and you can register directly through our website.
Mm-hmm. And, above that, too, as I was about to say, you are a person that taught me how to pivot when I first started doing the work in community. And if I never learned what that may have looked like through the adversities, through all of those things, I would have not known how to get activated in my community. So, this event, as well as where we're at now. On a personal note, that means the world to me to even be interviewing you now. You were there with my first interview, and I was so nervous.
And you did so well.
Right, but I just want to thank you so much just for being my sister out in community and my sister outside of that space.
Yes.
So I appreciate you. KJ, we got you. We're going to be there. And thank you so much for coming today.
Oh, love you, Deuante. Thank you so much.
I love you. And we are going to take one more break, and we will be back with The Day with Trae.
Hello, welcome to Elite Insights with Carlos Imani. We're looking to offer an in-depth look at event production industry through the lens of client experiences and joint successes. The podcast will emphasize guest interviews, focusing on client discussing their fields and reflecting on their collaboration with Elite Collective. Again, you're with Elite Insights. Carlos Imani here. I'll see you guys in a few.
Africatown Plaza is our latest affordable housing development project. It's 126 units of affordable housing over community commercial space.
It's the first time in my career, and I've been doing this for 10 years, that I was able to design for people who look like me.
Africatown Plaza is a beacon of hope.
Africatown Plaza is a love letter to the community.
You on my mind a lot, don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You seem like the barging down, got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch, might wake the neighbors up, break you in and break you out. In the end, we gon' make a child. Then we gon' hit the shower. Part 2, we don't need no pause. We Misty, we gon' get tipsy, don't need a power shot.
Copy my steel, face the fact that. Copy my steel, face the fact that.
Okay, and welcome back to The Day with Trae. What a great week. But today, I think with Katie coming in, I'm inspired. And I hope that you are too. There's been so many different calls to actions and getting activated. But we had Katie Hall come in here on this Friday because we're talking about our babies here. If we are not investing in our babies, and even earlier this week with a young girl talking about mental health, we need to continue to be activated in figuring out what we can do to be a part of the solution. Now, on Monday, Trae will be back. I ain't gonna tell you where she's gonna be at, but it's gonna be a very important space. We're gonna be somewhere all week, and I can't wait to watch The Day with Trae, and I can't wait to see y'all all next week. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, walk with love. Have a good weekend.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.